are the following's weekly highlights. I'm Arctic Blast, and I'm joined by...
Deadborn 1.
And this week we start off with Free Penguins and his A44 in Himmelsdorf.
Permission to engage.
Penguins is just going ham in this thing.
And, I mean, it's a weird tank with having that rear-mounted turret. I mean, and he's able to do these weird shots like drive around the corner and then just still shoot.
This is funny to me. Over the hill and through the woods to kill everyone I can find.
So he kind of like had to think for a second. He's like, who should I shoot first, the medium or the TD? And I think it came down to the fact that that medium shot at somebody first. So he went after the one that could shoot back first.
Yeah, right there. Oh my Lord, is he lucky?
Yeah, because that would have ruined his day.
That artillery must be cursing, honestly.
And this poor T-28, I mean, worst thing for a T-28 is to have someone come up behind him because he cannot pivot.
Yeah, and especially it being a medium that there was nothing he could do.
And I like that, just the side scraping in that tank.
And then this, I gotta head into Penguins. This is just straight up funny. I'm leaving. Hey, wait a second, look. Bang.
Next, we have Fire Blaster Boy and his KV-2 on steps. I mean, look at this. Mobile protection. I mean, I guess Hellcats are good for something even after they're dead.
Well, they may not be able to bounce shells when they're alive, but when they're dead, they do a pretty good job of it.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Ouch. And then this shot right here, just...
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Don't crest a hill when there's a KV-2 loaded.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Just don't be anywhere near a KV-2.
I mean, they must have not knew where he was. I mean, really, let a KV-2 come up behind you? Not a smart move. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to, deal with 4 tanks there at the end, and they kind of ganged up on him. And here we have AJ Steele and his M6 on Sacred Valley.
Enemy armor is damaged.
And he plays about every aspect of this tank possible. He does the rear sniping. He does the, firing on the move. Just pretty much plays every strength that this tank has.
And definitely showing off the mobility here is kind of moving it around, going for different aspects of the battlefield, which is really, as an opposing player, can make American tanks dangerous, especially if played well. Just being unpredictable on the map.
And it's actually a pretty fun one to play because it actually plays a lot more like a medium tank, just with a lot more hit points.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed mine, and that blind shot right there, excellently done, just taking the extra time to take that other shot in.
One of our tracks is damaged. They killed our driver.
That Matilda, though, kind of tearing him up a bit, but, it has the rate of fire to cause trouble to just about anybody. And he's here sitting at 5 kills. Can he get the 6th kill? Can he get his top gun?
Enemy armor is hit.
Oh, he left him at 2 hit points. So close. This time we have Shadowhawk in his M36 Jackson. And he loves this tank. He seems to, a lot more than the Hellcat, just because, I don't know. Some people like the Hellcat, some people like the Jackson, and Shadow just seems to like his Jackson.
And I'm sure, and our viewers can definitely notice, I am not much of a TD player. You'll see me in a scumbag or a heavy tank more often than not, and this tank I just couldn't get to. It just...
Enemy armor is destroyed.
The lack of armor is what got me, but it doesn't seem to be stopping him at all.
Enemy is hit.
Yeah, you just got to be able to use the train to your advantage and
Enemy armor is hit.
poke yourself out only when you know you're going to kill the tank. Otherwise, he's going to return fire, and you ain't going to get too many opportunities after that. And here he is. He's at 3 kills. He's hoping that his platoon mate can pick up 3 kills. And there he's up to 3 now, but can his teammate stay alive? Uh-oh, here comes an IS-2 to try to ruin their day, and he tracks him. Turns the gun, he ain't able to do anything. And he gets killed, and they come away with the brothers in arms. This time, Fireball 2561 in his T57 Heavy Tank on steps. And this is by far, I think, one of the funnest autoloaders to play, even if it does have relatively weak armor for a heavy tank.
But the DPM on that gun makes it extremely dangerous, and it's, in my opinion, it's much more flexible than like you'd have like the Waffle TD or some of those other ones, just for the fact that the mobility it has is so much greater.
Yeah, and 24-second reload, I mean, it's a bit much, but when you figure you're getting 4 rounds that are firing every 1 second, it's really not that bad of a reload.
Yeah, especially looking at what he just did to that tank.
And here he is, he's able to take 1 shot, not even have to worry about reloading, comes around, finishes off another heavy with 2 shots, still has, you know, a shot left. I mean, that's 3 tanks in like 15 seconds or less.
And that's definitely a strength of it too, is being able to, even if you missed that 1 shot, if that was my IS-8, I would have had to be waiting for a few more seconds before I can even take the 2nd shot, and taking 3 down range increased the chance of getting the kill.
And here we have Space Ace in his T110E5. And this tank, he gets lucky right here. That, you know, to be able to shoot at a Waffentracker E100 and get away without drawing his attention.
No kidding.
And he had really good situational awareness on this map. I mean, he seemed to be where he needed to be able to help his team.
I like this move right here. He goes around behind that tank, and even if that tank had gotten the shot off, he would have been in serious trouble, but putting himself in a position where his allies can help.
Enemy armor is damaged. Drive on.
And then I like here, where he ends up tracking the tank so that it can't back away.
Penetration.
And, you know, and since he has a higher reload than it, he knew he'd be able to get more shots off on it. And, of course, ricocheting, you know, a couple shots helped.
Enemy armor is hit.
And even for a low alpha tier 10, it does an amazing work job of just getting around and dealing out that damage.
Yeah. And then I like this move here. I mean, it's 1-on-1. It's the last 2 tanks in the battle. He manages to tag it and get that shot off, and just, I mean, that was a nice clutch shot. Here we have Deadborn in his T150 on Windows Himmelsdorf, and he's up playing around with Crazy, and they do a really good job here running in tandem.
Yeah, me and Crazy, that was kind of our main goal here, was to focus on the teamwork just between ourselves, and we definitely achieved that here. You'll actually notice here in a second the TD that I come across just up ahead. I take 1 shot into it.
Well, the Arty, it's an Arty, but
Arty. Oh, that's what I get. I haven't seen this one in a while, but plopping that shot and get, nah, I don't need to kill you. Leave him to Crazy, move on to the next kill.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And I just want to mention for our viewers, I'm going to be an honorable mention in this one, so we see if we can get some more flexibility in those votes and get some of the other guys some more votes.
here we have Death from Above Convict in his Tiger 1 on Redshire, and you know this is actually unconventional for the most part, because most people, when they're over on this side, they prefer to stay as far to the right as possible, and here he is peeking out and around on the left side of the hill.
This is definitely an interesting position, especially in a Tiger 1 like this. I, I'm not really sure if I would have personally gone here, but it seems to be working for him.
Yeah, he's able to keep them in his sights. He's able to, yeah, I mean, and he ricochets quite a bit too. I mean, that was definitely favorable for him. And then he's able to push into the center here, and it's just like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, they're just swarming the cap, and they're surrounded. And a Tiger 1 is pretty good at shooting at a distance. I mean, it's a fairly reliable gun.
Can I have enemies like that? Yes, please.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Well, minus that Ferdinand.
Well, yeah, but it didn't even really do that much damage to him either. They must not be the top gun or something.
Got him. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Next up is Crazy Bob 82 and his Tiger 2 on Tundra. And he plays this Tiger 2 a little bit different than you'll see in the next video. Here he is, he's playing with a group of guys, and they're just, holding this corner here and just, taking turns, pretty much putting constant pressure on the enemies.
And that's definitely a great thing for the Tiger is it does have the gun to back off, get that reload, pop out, cover an ally if you need to, and just keep the team alive even when you don't have that one-on-one situations.
Yeah, and he got pretty lucky. I mean, he set what, 2 different tanks on fire in this match. And when you can set an enemy on fire, that definitely saves you time because the enemy's got to be backing off trying to, get his fire extinguisher, and he's burning the whole time. So it's like getting an extra hit in on him. I like how he side scrapes here just to make sure that he's, not dealing with 2 TDs head on.
You get so many allies that just playing random games. They'll just drive out in front of both those guns and get killed. End up costing the game, but crazy.
And finally for this week, we have Herbie 1994 in his Tiger 2 on Siegfried Lying. And notice this time, instead of him being in a group of guys, he's taking on a group of guys all by himself.
And contrary to what I first thought when I saw this was, that's a Pershing going around that right side there. And just the shots after shots.
I mean, it's a T-29, a T-150, a Tiger, and the Pershing, I mean, all fired on him. And any one of them could potentially pin him without any problems, but he managed to get himself in a nice hold-down position, and his armor just seemed to just reflect everything that was thrown at him.
Pershing appears to have had enough of that whole trading shots at a distance and wants to come up close and deal some damage, but unfortunately for him, he's not noticing those group of enemies on that other side right there.
Yeah, and so, once they finally clear out this flank here, then Herbie's able to move up into the city. Starts picking up some kills here. And then this right here, I mean, that KB3 is full health. And he comes into the battle 1,400, going against 1,400 hit points with this 504. And they're trading shots. But notice, Herbie's hits points do not go down at all. I mean, he took out that full health KB3 without losing a single hit point.
I have no words for that one. That's just an impressive kill.
Well, that concludes this week's highlight reel. Don't forget to vote for your favorite replay. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you next time.